No, it does it. It uploads as it goes. So for those here, I'm getting ready to make pickles. But because it's live, because live is easier, I have a little schooling going on. Christmas tree still up. But we're going to make some Lacto fermented pickles. And I figured might as well get it started. We'll see who joins us. All right. Not the best angle. I'm working on the angle. I cannot find the thing to hold on. So many good things. So many good things. I'm hoping you had a wonderful New Year's Eve. I was hoping to get on to YouTube before now, since last time. I really wanted to. Good morning, Lori. You're going to love today. Good morning, Greek Gables. You're going to love today, too. I was hoping to get on and do a live video, but I'm going to just... Sorry, I had a phone call come in, and it just, like, froze up the whole thing. So I was hoping to have a couple videos between last time I did it live and this time that I'm doing a live. But my kids were home, and so was my husband. And that was just near impossible. 6 kids. Good morning. All right. What do I have? I have pickles. I have like the best stinking pickles ever. Ever. I mean, they're really good to me. But yeah. All right, so let me see. I gotta find something to stand my phone on. They're lactose, or they're not lactose. Somebody's gonna say it right for me. They are they're counter pickles with probiotics. One of my favorite people to watch and listen to is Cultured Food Life with Donna S. Because I'm not going to try and say her name. I got no idea. Stuff we did. We made oodles and oodles and oodles of soap. Don't mind the mess of potatoes. We had to kick them off. But my daughter worked on some soap bars. These are like really good face ones. They smell so good. They're drying out. We did some soap. We made some bread. I did some pickles. I'm working on a sourdough starter. But anyways, back to Cultured Food Life. I love her stuff. And she really just talks about the probiotics and the connection. So I've been trying to work on her Trinity. She calls it the Trinity, the trio of success. And her trio of success is kefir, kombucha, and cultured vegetables. And I'll show you. I don't like that angle, so I gotta fix it. Like, lots of kombucha. I've been trying to drink a kombucha every day. So today I've already got my kefir and my kombucha. At this moment, this is my kefir that I have been doing, but I'm going to make my own shortly. Soon. And the one I did, I'll put a link to this later. I'm using this brand to make my kefir. But I'm waiting to get raw milk to make my kefir with. Okay, so let's see. I did this good last time. I don't know why. I'm actually trying to balance you on egg cartons. That's a little better. It's just I feel like it's not high enough. All right, so this is my fermented cultured pickles. And can't say this morning because we're starting back to school in a bit, but still watching your replay later. Happy New Year's. Thanks for coming by. These are phenomenal. They're so phenomenal. Let me get a spoon. They're just absolutely phenomenal. Like, we broke into them and almost ate the whole thing. And I did one of these large jugs to do the pickles in last time. Phenomenal. I did hot slaw. That'll be another day. But the only thing in here is salt, water, onions, dill, cucumbers, and garlic. And the acid got so low in here, it turned the garlic blue. Mm. Mm. Oh, I'm making a mess. They're so good even in the morning. So let me get my stuff in order. I know you don't mind doing a whole ragtag with me. Lots of things to tell you. Definitely been, let me just say, really just been trying to get in touch and not in touch, but like really connecting with the Holy Spirit. So the first thing I need to do is do my sourdough. Hey, Love Garden. Oh, wait till you see my garden I'm working on. All right, so I need to do this. I am harvesting my own starter for a sourdough. And the reason is if I do a sourdough, my daughter can eat the bread with all of her health issues. So get that going. I know I'm a little unorganized. Get your laundry out, make your breakfast. Just set me on the side as I get this started. Everybody's like, I don't know what's happening on Facebook. Everybody's leaving. So I've been trying to work for this year, New Year's resolutions. I'm not really having a New Year's resolution. I am focusing on God's will and what his desire is. And so I've decided to do a verse this year. I'm not doing any, I didn't eat any black eyed peas. No, I don't want to, again, using my eggs to prop you up. I just don't want to put my faith in anything but God, especially with what's going on in the world this round. I just want to be focused on God and God's desire. Well, and I almost made black eyed peas and green bean and collards because I want to eat them, but I've decided not to pin it to New Year's Eve or New Year's Day for good luck or any of that, because I don't want luck. I want Jesus. I don't want any luck. Because believing in luck is believing other than God. But this is my conversations with God between me and I. And so, some of the conversations we've been having in church, with some of my fellow Christians, it's like, we're not fighting for our country. We're not doing enough. And we've gone so lax, and we've allowed so much that we know isn't right. We've allowed this to happen because we don't fight. And God had really been dealing with me, and I kind of questioned them, and I said, is it because we're not fighting, or is it because we're not intentionally loving our neighbors like we've been called to do? And so that's been kind of something that's my focus. Like, love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, and soul, and to love your neighbor as yourself, and all that, covers every law. And living that out, figuring out how to live that out. How does God want me to live that out? All right. So number one, I got to take care of myself. Notice I'm not coughing. And it's not because, let me clear my throat at the moment. It's not because I found some magic pill with my acid reflux. I'm going to tell you, my coughing started when I overloaded myself on my pickles. Controlling my acid reflux and my GERD has been so much easier being proactive on my probiotics. And I'm not taking a probiotic pill. I am drinking the kefir, and the kefir is kind of thick and it's dairy, and I don't do a lot of dairy, and it does kind of make me kind of phlegm up in the morning, but it bypasses. I'm still having a cup of coffee, and I didn't even put baking soda in it. I will tell you, I cannot recommend enough. When I come back, I will try and remember to come back, because, I'm a little absent-minded. The ADHD is strong. But Blackout Coffee, Winter Wonderland. Like, it's a seasonal coffee, but, like, this is worth filling your whole box up for free shipping. It's like $35, and orders is free shipping. Get this. This is phenomenal. I have like 3 or 4 bags, but my son goes through this so much. But like, This is the best coffee. Not paid. They're friends of mine. They're a small mom and pop coffee shop. Not any way compensated, but this is my favorite coffee. It's Blackout. They're American owned. And there's the website, blackoutcoffee.com. And they're made right here in Florida, Punta Gorda. Just a mom and pop. And I get ground phenomenal coffee. And it's only a seasonal one. So you want to get this one. Get this flavor because you'll have to wait till next year. All right, so I have that. I have the kombucha, and it was kind of calming the cough down, but not like obliterating it. And I was still eating Tums, and I was trying not to mess up my stomach. Drinking this juice, eating all the cucumbers does it. All right, so I'm getting off track. I gotta do first things first. I gotta feed my sourdough. So we're on day 6. And what I have is my sourdough, my little coffee filter, a bowl, and a scale. So I know you can't see me. I cannot find my thing for my phone. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour, see, 50 grams in here. And I just found this on Pinterest. Oops, I did 54. I just found this on Pinterest, kind of a basic recipe, and so what I found is it takes about 10 days to get there, and I'm not wasting it. It's getting a little bit of that sour smell 6 days in. I've been feeding this to the pigs mostly. I say that, but then I just realized I have yesterday's. There's yesterday's. I just gotta clean my jars. So I'll put that there and I'll feed that to the pigs. All right, so then I'm going to match that with 50 grams of flour and 50 grams of water. I'm gonna mix it up and I put it in a clean jar. And that's it. And all I did was I started with 50 grams of flour, 50 grams of water, and mixed it. I put it in my jar. I wrote the date, I don't know if you can see that, 129 sourdough, and then every day that I feed it, I put a little check mark. So it takes like 10 feedings to get there. And it hasn't started bubbling or anything like that yet, but I know it'll get there. So 50 grams is about a quarter cup. So reach over here to my flour. My neighbor, I haven't talked to my neighbor, but my neighbor, and I'm just measuring it on the scale. My neighbor makes sourdough, and he has a sourdough from the 1970s, so I can only imagine like all the good microbes that are in that and the probiotics. There, about 51 that are in it. But I haven't had a chance to talk to him yet, which does go back to my Bible verse about loving my neighbors. I need to be more connected with my neighbors. There. All right. That's it. So I just mix that. And I mean, it doesn't look like much. I stir it all up. I pour it in a jar and I put my lid in. I cross off that I did another day. And I wait till, I think my day is Thursday. Hopefully I'll get to make my first sourdough yeast bread Thursday. Do you have any good books? Anybody? Okay, number one, are any of you making sourdough yet? Or have made it? Practice making bread making. I used to make bread all the time when the kids were little. And I haven't, being in the house next door or when I started YouTubing, I was already done. And then when we lived in the tiny house, it was just, that's one more thing I didn't want to deal with. But now coming back. So, who are your favorite cookbooks or YouTubers with making sourdough? There's one, it's a homestead one. She's really amazing, but I can't remember her channel. All right, so it looks So remember, it was runny. Now it looks kind of like this. I am, to be honest, I'm not just pouring it on the counter. I'm pouring it into my clean jar. And I'm just scraping it down nice and easy. So Alderman Farms is the best. Yes, that's it. Alderman Farms. That's who I was talking about. I love her videos. And I love when she's like, hey, you think you messed up when it gets to here. She definitely took the fear out of making my own sourdough. And then the fear of messing it up or killing myself, she took that away. She is phenomenal. So definitely using her aspects and reading everything I could on everybody else's perspective. But that's it. This is, you know, my daily commitment to making my sourdough starter. I'm putting my little, that's it. Put my little coffee filter back on there and giving it another check mark that I've done it for another day. So this is day 6. And I think this is half a cup. So this has made half a cup, and I don't think it's going to rise. I think I got another couple of days before it rises. We'll see. Who knows when I get back? Maybe that will help out. So I have that. Another thing I got started, and I'm doing it in small batches because I tend to do it too big and it's too overwhelming, is I'm growing a new kombucha. How in the world do you grow a new kombucha? So see, you can see the scobies forming at the top. Okay, it is so stinking easy, it will shock you. I don't have anyone to point in for, I'm doing a very lazy cold processed sourdough where I just dump and pour without precise measurements. I'm being precise just to get it kicking, but I don't think I have to be precise after that. Doing a kombucha, I just made sweet tea and I poured, every time I had a kombucha, I left a little bit of residual there and I dumped it into my kombucha bottle, and to inoculate because I'm taking the microbes and the probiotics in here and putting it into my sweet tea, and I'm letting it ferment. The reason I decided to do a half-gallon jar is I felt like it would be easier to handle half-gallon jars, and instead of like dumping the jar and trying to clean the jar and pour it back in and all those many steps, I think, what is it, $14 to get 6 of these half-gallon jars. They fit the wide, and I figured it'd be easy to take the SCOBY and put it into a clean one, pour some in here to inoculate, pour my sweet tea in, and I got another one brewing. And I could have like 2 or 3. I can grow them as much as I want. And if I have somebody I want to gift, I could just give them a whole half-gallon jar. Like, here, it's already started. Here's what you do. This is easy. And maybe give them an empty one. So that's why I've decided to go this method. And once it's working, I need to do that. I need to show my SCOBY hotel some love. It's been about a year since. Yeah, I know, because the SCOBYs can get so stinking huge. So this is a good way that I can kind of break them apart and spread them out and gift them. Because that's where I'm kind of going in the whole aspect of loving my neighbor. And finding what your gifts are, because God has given you gifts. Finding what your gifts are and using your gifts to love your neighbor. Because I believe Gary Chapman did probably the most phenomenal job teaching me what love is. I come from the world that when I was growing up, love was this like, oh la la, I love you so much. You know, I'm completely intoxicated by just looking at you. And number one, I wasn't raised in a Christian home. I was raised in a good home that sort of pointed to Christ, but not with the knowledge of Christ. But that was lust. As a Christian, I realized that's lust. And when I became a Christian, I was like, I love you and I love you, but it didn't go beyond me walking through the campus. I was at the University of Florida, walking through campus, you know, and I walk by people, I love you and I love you, which was a huge stark contrast before Christ, before Trish meets Jesus. where it was like, oh, look at you, you know. And a lot of times it was an envy that I would look at them. And then I went to, I love you and I love you. But that's not really doing the love of Christ. That's a great attitude, but not the love of Christ. And so I love Gary Chapman. So my husband and I read Gary Chapman's 5 Love Languages right after we got married, because I'm going to tell you 3-4 months in, I was ready to divorce him because we could not figure this out. We had expectations that neither one of us were meeting. And so we read the 5 Love Languages. It was gifted to me. And I kind of haphazardly, I'm like, here, look at this and see if it's worth reading. And he was like, this is awesome. I'm like, okay, so I guess we're reading this book. And what I come to realize is there's 5 actions that show love. And he biblically backs each one up as to what Jesus did. But it's acts of service, doing for people. Quality time. I'm phenomenal at quality time. Hence, I do this because I'm a talker. And quality time is my love language. I love quality time. Just spending time doing stuff with each other. Gifts. Affection and words of affirmation, just, you know, encouraging. And those are like the 5 ones. And so when I'm like, Lord, how do you want me to love my neighbor? I'm like, can I do something? Can I be there? Can I give you a hug? Can I tell you what I see in you, that I know what God loves about you, you know, trying to do those things. And so in doing that, if I can make a kombucha and I did the acts of service and that person receives it as an act of service because that's what resonates for them, or as a gift because that's what resonates for them, or quality time because I spent a half hour with them when I brought it, or I gave them, because I brought it, I seen them and I gave them a hug. Don't COVID social correct me. Because I gave them a hug. Or I remark about what's just absolutely amazing when I see them. I try to find a way that I can do something where I can do all 5, because I don't know what responds for whoever. So that's what I'm working on. Okay, so there I am on that. Back to New Year's non-resolutions. I am going to now make pickles. And I bought a really cool thing. I gotta get it. Good job, girls. They're working on some Saxon math and spelling. Okay, so I was at Walmart and I was doing really, really good. I'm like on task. I went to Publix because Publix has the pickles I want. They only had 2 bags, but I have one more. These pickles are the sized cucumbers. And I'm like, I'm running because I want to put my stuff back in glass. And right here, you know, I have my big one. I've had this one for years, and this one has my flour in it. So I was able to put it back into production since we moved in this house. My rice. And then I had this little one for pancake mix. I'm really digging these guys too. So I moved my pancake mix. I know, just so many jars. I moved my pancake mix here. And I have this one. I think it's like a 3-gallon. Let me check, because I just bought one. It fits a bag of flour perfectly. Let me get this. Let's see. I'm gonna get a few things down here at the hall. I might have gone in the house and just dropped it at the door. I love that I have a house. Okay. Oops, crashing stuff. My girls are probably like crazy, but they should know that by now. They should know that. Okay. What did I get? Avocado plants. I've got to plant these. All right, so it's this one. It doesn't say how big it is, but it's not the biggest. It's not the smallest. It's the middle one. It fits a bag of flour perfectly. Let's see what it says here. It's the 1-gallon jar. It's the 1-gallon jar, and it's $9. It's $9. and it fits 1 bag of flour. So I have all-purpose flour, I have whole wheat, and then I have bread flour. I actually have one other flour coming, so I might get another one, but I only got one for now. So I picked up, I have the all-purpose flour. With it being soured, supposedly my daughter can eat that. I got the whole wheat to add more nutrition, and I can soak that. And again, my daughter can eat that. I got the bread flour to add to my sourdough to have a better form of bread. We'll see how that works. And with it being soured, she should eat that. And then I'm gonna get sprouted flour because I think she can eat the sprouted flour. So we will find out. We will see. Those are things I'm testing. But I plan today to get my Cricut out and actually put labels on my jars. So there's that. Okay, I bought this. How much did I get this for? $8.50. So I got this because I've been doing it fine. I'll show you the way I've done it. But I thought this would add, I like that it had the spring, because sometimes like you need to push the vegetables down under, and I use saran wrap and push it down, and I come up with all kinds of funky things, but I figured this would be better. So let's open this up, and then we'll make some pickles. Maybe. We'll make pickles. We're making pickles. Cut this. Alright, so what comes in here? Oh, it's an unopened Walmart haul. No, anyways. It'll be a Walmart haul. Okay, so what comes in here? Oh, it should be in your stack of books. There's this. Alright, so there's these 2 springs. And I know what these are going to do mechanically, because, you know, they'll push against the lid, and then it's going to push the stuff down. So see, it's going to push down. And what's nice is it's the right size for the wide mouth. It's wide mouth, which is nice because it fits a half gallon. And then there's these lids. So what's nice about these lids is there's this little section here with the plastic vents. So there's like vents with this little thin thing right here. And that's going to let it burp. It's going to let it vent out the gases. So I'm using coffee filters, and coffee filters have worked. They just worked for me just fine. Using the coffee filters work because it's keeping the dust and the yucky stuff out, and it's allowing the gas to go through it. But, you know, I'm pushing stuff out. I need to push the vegetables back down. And, you know, it's better if they stay under the water. So this is going to help. So I'm going to have to wash this. Get these washed. I know, I'm not doing well. All right, so what else comes in here? A plastic bag. And then, oh, okay. So then it has, inside is where the info is at. All right, so they have like easy brine cucumber pickles. What's different between what we do and what they do? Not really different. They're using pickling salt. I use a mineral salt for mine because it has more minerals in it. And then I use a probiotic kicker to get it kicked off. It talks about safety, and they have some safety instructions in English, and Spanish, and then they have like frequently asked questions in here, and then they have a recipe, but I'm not there for that. I already have my recipe. All right. I'm gonna get, it's cold out there. It's cold. It's not really cold. Let me get this going. I need.
Cat's not good for snuggling with.
Cat's not. Oh, we got a cat. Tell you that we got a cat. All right, so I didn't prep. I like literally came straight from taking the kids to school, because you know I take 2 to school, 2 drive to school, and 2 stay home. So I didn't really go into prep. I went and dropped them off. I went and dropped them off. I went to Publix to pick up my vegetables. You know what got me in trouble at Walmart? Trish, you said I was going to love this. Is it because the kefir or the other fermentation? It's the fermentation. It's the pickles. You're gonna love the pickles. You're gonna love the pickles. So what's really cool is I use this to kickstart. This is what Donna S from Culture Food Life uses. I bought this off of Amazon. I'll put the link later for it. I'll even put the one for kefir. I'm going to do kefir later this week. Maybe we'll take a little ride together on that. It won't be tomorrow. Do you know what I'm doing tomorrow? I've been invited by, oh, good morning. I've been invited to go speak at the Rotary about the ins and outs of homeschooling as their educational program. And I was invited to do that by a school board member who's my friend and who's the director of the college. So I'm doing that tomorrow. Wednesday I have co-op. So Thursday I might be making kefir. I'll come back and make kefir on Thursday. All right, so I used this to do my initial batch. What was amazing was 6 days. It took 6 days. They're phenomenal. It controls my GERD. It replenishes my probiotics. I've already blessed people with it. I made a hot slaw. I will do a hot slaw chat soon, but it's going to take me a while to get through my hot slaw. But my hot slaw is so dang good. It's not kraut. I don't let it get that sour. I eat it lightly soured, but it is so stinking good. So I did that, and what I did was I actually kept, I'm going to make a mess. I actually kept some of my brine because I have living probiotics in here, and I'm just going to pour my brine. So this would be about 1 cup. I'm going to assume 1 cup. I'm just going to pour it in. Oh, there's one of my blue. I got to get my blue one out so I can show you. One of my blue. I know, I'm all over the place today. I got a lot going. Let me get a spoon. This is just incredible. Like, I literally had to Google. I was like, is this for real? You know, did I get some bad? I thought I got some bad. Ooh, I'm going to eat the onion, though. All right. Wait till you see this garlic. I've already learned my lesson. I don't eat the garlic because it will light me up. It's blue. Ooh, I'm making a mess. It's blue. Isn't that crazy? It is blue. All right, so there's my inoculation source right there. And all I'm going to do is cut cucumbers and make onions and put some dill and make some salt water. I'm going to pour it in and, like, I'm done. Like, that's all I have to do. All I have to do. Well, and rinse. Y'all don't freak out. I don't do a lot of produce washing. I believe in rinsing. But I don't do the vinegar. I don't do any of that. So what do I have here? I have like five. So that was a pound. And yeah, that's 2 pounds. And then I have one more.
Mom, what's
What? Oh. Ooh, this one's a little slimy, so I definitely gotta get it clean. Pity. Let's show them what you're doing. My cucumbers do not last long in the fridge. All right. sister's coming for help. Look, that's what we're using. This, I really like this one. All right. A concrete noun is composed of, oh no, so pity would be abstract. So we're doing, so what it is it gives her capitalization exercise. She's on day 9. It has her fix a sentence, do some punctuation, rewrite correctly, you know, do some proofreading, doing some nouns, pronouns, and sentence combining. Really nice little combo. Pity is, concrete would be something you can touch.
I know.
So yeah, pity would be abstract because it's to have a feeling or emotion. It's not something you can go touch. It's like an idea.
Dust.
Yes. You can touch dust.
Can you touch a cloud?
Yeah, you can fly through a cloud. You can touch a cloud. It's there. It's there. All right. Let my little cucumbers soak. So I'm going to cut my onion up. And I'm going to do my garlic. Just shove them in. And that's it. 36 minutes just to get to the cucumber part. Whoops. So anyways, I've been trying to get back into walking. And really been diving into... I got a goat bucket. Got to grab my goat bucket. And then remember to take my goat bucket out. Just really diving into dealing with my health. Am I dealing with my health to like skinny and all the stuff that Instagram wants to throw at me? Or am I doing this to have a better vessel to do what I need to be doing for the Lord? It's hard. It's so hard not to get caught up into that fleshly, worldly aspects. And I'm working hard to be in check on that. But I'm definitely at the point where I realize my health is becoming a problem in my everyday stuff. So no matter what size I am, what I look like, what the weight scale says, you know, I'm coughing. We have a adjustable bed coming.
You do?
Not you. Me and my husband. And we got a queen. Oh, I can't wait to show you when that comes. Maybe I'll video us putting it together because that's going to be hilarious. Oh, the onions. You know, and he's like, I wanted to get this for your health because, you know, the coughing is so bad and the acid reflux. Oh, these are so, I did white onions. I like white onions. I'm just dumping them in. Dumping them in. That's all I'm doing. Oh, my eyes are burning. And I got my glasses on. Oh, that's worse. I'm just sticking them in my jar. So I got my starter. Put them in my jar. I'm going to cut this other onion and then I'm going to put a couple of cloves of garlic. I'll put my dill and then I'm going to make some salt water. And that's it. That is it. Simple as that. I like to cut them wide enough to for me to enjoy. Oh my word. I'm crying. We just ordered a Split King adjustable, you know, your old one, right? That's what we said. I'm like, we hit adulthood. Oh, my poor eyes. My poor eyes. Oh, we got an adjustable queen. We got from the Lift Mattress Company, I think it is.
I do 2 pages of this.
Yes, please. You do 2 pages of that. It's me homeschooling. Oh, I got garden boxes. I'm so excited. I'm back to gardening. I'm going small to big. So my idea is start off small, go bigger. And that's my goal. All right, so I don't know if you got a method. I just kind of smash them. So smashed garlic. So I've been really successful at gardening when I had a smaller plot, and I just had a couple of raised beds, and I did amazing. And I'm like, more is better. I'm gonna cut this one into dices. More is better. And I got bigger, and it was not manageable, so it wasn't better. I couldn't do more. So my thinking is going back small. It's right off the house. I'm going to invest in a little irrigation system. I'm gonna buy it right off Amazon. This is gonna be some spicy stuff. Remember to get your seeds and canning supplies early, right? I have seeds from last year. Side of the house, I kind of have stuff already started, and I'm starting things early. Oh, my eyes. Oh, my eyes. I'm like about to cry. That onion. Whew. So I'm really excited about that. And that's part of my thing. Like my husband's done really good for years. My husband was a weightlifter, crunchy runner. He was way more in shape than I was when I met him. I was this round little pudgy thing, and he was very athletic. Very. And since when we got engaged, I did Weight Watchers for the first time. Very successful, and I kind of always told him, I said, you asked, like every girl's fantasy, you asked the fat girl and you got to marry the skinny one. And so, but since then he hasn't worked out at all, and really just has been on don't care. Well, turning 40, his body hurt, and I'd been saying to him for some time, you look older than you are because you're not taking care of yourself. So for the last 6 months, well, he got into a car accident last year that really, really messed him up. My hands are gonna smell like so much. I think you said you grew kale. Let me get this done. Last year, and he's been in and out of physical therapy. And what ended up being the game changer for him was stretching. So he started stretching every day, morning and night. And I won't lie, my sinfulness just resisted it. And, that he was doing these things. And then he started running, and he's been running every other day. And he keeps asking me to go with him. And for years, call it pride, spitefulness, or just not there in that place yet. Oh, this is my dill. It's, we have a little Mennonite store, so I'm sure they buy it bulk. And then they can't put it in there, so this is what I use. Until I have fresh dill. And I don't know how much I'm using. 2 or 4 teaspoons. I put a lot in there because I like a lot of dill. That looks about right. This would be so good in a cucumber sandwich. Anyway, this is what it looks like. No pickles added yet. So he'd been going, and for years I'd wanted him to go with me, and he wouldn't go with me. And so now he's like, come with me, come with me. I'm like, I don't feel like it. And I wasn't really in the place yet. And I do that. I have moods where I'm always working on it. And cucumbers. So he's been doing so good. Well, what was my point? We've hit that point of realizing we got to take care of ourselves so much better. I don't even know where I was going with that. But me taking care, and he's been on me about paying more attention about me taking care of myself. I will tell you, as somebody who has ballooned and fluctuated 60 pounds over our marriage, he's never cared about what my weight was. I've been very, very blessed. And never, doesn't bother him, nothing. But he's been really on me, and he's like, I don't care what you look like. I'm not worried about what you look like. He goes, but I'm realizing we're old. We are old, and getting older, he goes, I need you around. And of course, I don't know. I'm just not gonna lie. I've been a little spiteful lately. And I'm like, yeah, you need me around. Who's gonna cook your food? You just want me around to do your work for you. I'm not gonna lie, I've been spiteful. And you know, and I've joked with him about it, but at the same time, it's somewhat serious. And, but he's been really on me and just realizing age. And he's like, you need to do this. And I finally told him, I said, listen, I know it might not make sense to you, but I can't go start walking. That's not what gets me going to be very careful about my weight. It's more than that. It takes getting my gut right again. And so I feel like I need to work on my gut health first. And I'm like, I need a garden. And he's like, why do you need a garden to get healthy? I go, because if I'm focused, if my attention's on the food I grow, then I eat the food I grow. And if I'm growing food, it's healthy, then I'm eating healthy food. And I have to drink my kefir and I get my kombucha and ferment my vegetables, because then I'm mindful to eat good things. So that's how I got my garden. Because I know that will keep me on part. So I'm not slicing them I don't know. I'm slicing them my perfect chips. So you do what yours. If you're going to ferment them longer, cut them thicker. So that they just don't overtake with sourness. I actually had a set of lactose pickles that lasted me 2 years. I don't know. I just didn't eat them. And so I ate them, and they were a boost. They were so stinking sour. They about did me in. All right, so I'm just over here cutting them away, filling my jar up. I think I'm going to do another jar later so I can keep 2 kicking. And I don't think these are going to take as long as the first round, because I have that good inoculation of bacteria. It's not going to take as long. Put those ends in there because I don't care. I'm going to eat them. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing. So I've been walking, and I actually got rid of my Fitbit and bought a Timex watch, just the plain Timex watch. I noticed I've been really, one of the big things I've been really paying attention to this last year and really reflecting in the past is losing, losing perspective, losing focus. And I feel like the Fitbit's great. It does a lot of good things. But with the Fitbit, I tend to get so kind of micro-focused on the steps and kind of the forest from the trees. You know, I can't see the forest from all the, you know, the individual trees. If you know that saying, if you're familiar with that saying, is that I kind of was losing sight. It was just all about the steps. And what I realized is I need 30 minutes of cardio every day. And that's one of my goals I'm working on, is 30 minutes of cardio. And with 30 minutes of cardio, I think I put too much onion. I just don't feel like that's enough cucumber. Let's see if I can squeeze like one more in there. And so doing 30 minutes of cardio. And so I got the Runkeeper app on my iPhone. I'm not sure if it's on Android. And what's really nice is it will GPS track you. I'm not really a big fan of that right now, but it will track your walk on a map. It will track your time and your distance and your pace. And one of the things I've been doing is trying every day to go for a walk. And my first day I went for like an hour, ridiculously hour-long walk, because, you know, I want to overdo anything I do when I get going. That's just what I do. And I went for an hour, and now I'm just like keeping it. Let's start small, achievable, 30 minutes. So what I do is I set it up and I go 15 minutes. 15 minutes out, 15 minutes back. It's simple. I just walk and it goes, ding, you've walked 5 minutes. You've walked this pace, this long. I've made my bed. I've got lots of laundry going, emptied my dishwasher, and doing prep for tonight's dinner. Oh, good. I got to figure out tonight's dinner. I'm going to do bread. Work on my bread recipe. Okay, let me go in. I have filtered water. My whole house is filtered. So I've got my cucumbers filled. Oh, so I'm just keeping it simple, like walking 15 minutes out, walking 15 minutes back. When little thing dings, I know it's 15 minutes and I just turn on and come back. And I know it sounds crazy. It's simple and it just makes everything easier. I'm not walking a specific distance. I'm just going. All right, what does this say? See, I'm using the same. So like, this is the packet that it comes in. It says, oh, it's 3 tablespoons of salt per 2 cups of water. Oh, this comes with 6 of them. So I've used one. I've only used one of these. I've gifted one. And now I'm going to see if I can go without needing it. But I'm going to keep it in my fridge until then. All right, so I have 2 cups of water. And I'm going to take 3 tablespoons. Let's see if I can find one. That's 2.5. Where are my spoons? I tell you, nobody emptied the dishwasher today. It was the changing of the guards, wasn't it? Ow! Ow! And my glasses are making me crazy because look, they need to get re-tightened up. But I've been walking every day and I'm not caught up in the distance. I'm not caught up in, I'm just 15 minutes out. And what's funny is seeing the achievement because I'm walking a little faster that I'm going farther in that 15 minutes and then turning around. And that's been crazy amazing. Like keeping it simple has made it easier to find more achievable victories, like seeing victories. So I've been doing that. So I got up this morning at 5:30 to do my walk. But I'm not sleeping again. Where I was sleeping when I was working and when I came, I was doing a really good job sleeping. I'm definitely been having a hard time like not going to bed till 11. Falling asleep at 11. Going to bed, but so I'm hoping the walking will make it better. Get that, reset my body. Because insomnia is definitely an issue. Definitely an issue. I need a spoon. Excuse me. Alright, so all I'm going to do is I have 2 cups. I have salt. Dissolve salt. I should have made my water warmer. Good enough. It always takes. I'm just going to simply pour it in. And I know I'm going to have, some people are going to say, you should have mixed it in a bowl first. And then I just scooped that water, that salt in there. And I'm going to add more water. Some people put it in bowls. I try to keep it as easy as possible. This one I'm probably not going to put as much. So you want the salt in there to keep things from growing. But I wish I had pH strips. I was just talking to the middle school science teacher. And I'm like, you know, it'd be cool to do this as a science project and do it without microbes and with microbes and see the difference that they make when it comes to the pH. Because the pH getting really acidic keeps it safe. You don't get botulism growing. All right. So I have it in there and I'm going to push my cucumbers down. I'm going to push them down with my handy dandy, thing from Walmart. Oh, try and get them in there so I can pack more in. Because that's what I'm trying to do. Pack more in. I don't think I'm going to get more in. Dang it. I'm just going to have to do another jar. All right. So I'm just kind of mixing it up. Yeah, I probably should have done this, in something else. But whatever. Whatever. So you can make a quart. You can make a big one. You can make a gallon. That's what it looks like. Oh, you're getting your kitchen clean. You're so good. All right, now I'm going to use these new tools. All right, so what's cool is I got two. I can do two. So I'm going to put this side down so it's going to push. And so see what it does is, so see how it stands, they kind of float to the top. And then it simply pushes them down so they're staying submerged. Ooh, I love this thing already. And I put this on. Oh, that's it. There. In about 5 to 6 days, I will have more cucumbers. Isn't that great? And then this little thing will burp it for me. I'm already in love with this. Oh. But that's it. Cucumbers ready to go. You have two in daycare today, a baby and a 2-year-old. Cucumbers ready to go. You're going to get, once this is brewed, you get more probiotics. I'm loving this. I used brine from here when we had the norovirus come through, when the kids got sick at camp. I used brine. I was the last one to come down with norovirus. And I mean, remember, we were in 700 square feet, 8 of us, laid up in the living room with puke bowls. They were just puking. I was in the midst of that, studying for my PE and my engineering exam. And I didn't get nauseous until like the last day. I got nauseous at 4 o'clock. I started drinking this. I was drinking 2 tablespoons. Like, I just go back, drink 2 tablespoons, drink 2 tablespoons every like couple hours. In the morning, I finally threw up. One little throw up. I mean, like, not much. Not like the rest of them were doing. And then I felt good. And I was done. So I prevented the norovirus with this. This is healing my gut. Eating it, drinking it, soothes my acid reflux and makes it just so much more wonderful. So that's why I'm loving doing this. When I set up my kefir next time, I will let you know when we start brewing kefir. I'm going to try and make some bread today. So one of my goals, I went and bought myself a stack. I'm going to buy more, but I'm going to start with 6, is to make bread for my neighbors. That's how I'm going to love my neighbors. And I'm going to work with my immediate neighbors. And as I love them, I'm going to work with more, and I'm going to love them and just try and go as far. And I'm going to make bread or something in a loaf pan for them. I was going to go to Dollar Tree and buy the dollar ones and, you know, the tin metal, but I know they don't last very long. And when I was in Walmart, I found this one, which is about the same size. I don't want a big loaf pan, just a small one. It was $1.49, so it's like 50 cents more. It'll probably last much longer, so I bought 6. And I'm going to begin my Love Thy Neighbor Loaf Pan Ministry. And to love them and show the love of Christ through me and bring glory to God, living in His will. So that's what I have going on there. Blessing people with pickles. Sourdough bread, and just using my kitchen to be the powerhouse of the ministry that God has intended for me. I won't lie, I feel like I've lost. Yes, this is how I'm going to love my neighbors. Hey, my loaf pan Love Thy Neighbor ministry. I won't lie, and I don't know where things are going, and how things go. First and foremost, I believe the power of homeschooling, but then I also recognize I could turn that into an idol. And when I look back and I see how, as I got deeper into homeschooling with my kids, I worried more. It consumes me. And making sure I put it where it belongs, because I realize, you know, one of the things I've been listening to Journey Women podcast, really good podcast. I just actually found them on my first walk out, and it was the perfect amount. If I need to do a long walk, I can listen to a whole one in one walk. But one of the questions that it asked was like, what's your idol? We all have idols that we put and we prioritize over, and we can justify a lot of times. And it was talking about, if you don't think you have an idol, then you really have an idol that you struggle with, that you're just not admitting. And I've come to realize a little bit back was, oh, see, you should be making bread for your neighbors too. Is I think my idol's education, and making that such a priority for our lives, to the point it was so consuming that just worrying about it consumed me. Not just doing it, but worrying about it. And realizing, raising my children to be an army for the Lord is more important than their SAT score. Now, granted, their SAT score helps, but if that's the only priority, then that's a problem. And I look back and I feel like I've really, over time, lost touch with the Lord and doing His work and being His person, because homeschooling became my idol. Loving my neighbor. So that's what I'm prioritizing. That's this year. Love thy neighbor, with a little bread loaf mission work. So that's what I've got going on. If you got any prayer concerns, go ahead and throw them at me, and I will close this in prayer and get going and get do some hands-on homeschooling. Because apparently we are in, we're going to call this the gifted section. We're doing some gifted work section of our homeschool right now. See it? It's right there. It's a puzzle. It's a puzzle. They're working on my puzzle. But as soon as it's done, then I can put that thing up and get it out of my way. But, all right, I don't see any prayer requests, so I'm just going to get us out of here. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for the time that you've brought us together. Thank you for just this opportunity to just love your word and love the people that you bring into us, dear Lord. I just seen the one for Danielle and just her decision on making her educational final. And Lord, you've made us to be curious beings, to continue to grow. Lord, continue to grow in knowing you. Dear Lord, continuing to grow in the things that bring you glory, Lord. Just help us be in your will and just wake us up. Wake us up from our narcissism that we can't help. We live in this self-society, dear Lord. Just be with us as we stop being distracted about ourselves, Lord, and just, Lord, put us on your path. Lord, give us that power you want. Lord, it's so easy in this world to just want to be ready to fight, Lord, but Lord, bring us back to a place that we intentionally love thy neighbor, dear Lord, as ourselves, and guide us in that path, and just make it knowing, and just give us the strength and courage to make that first step so you can make that next step for us. In your son's precious name I pray. Amen. All right, y'all have an amazing day. The onions are killing me.
Say peace out.
They're saying peace out.
Say peace out.
She's coming. She's coming.
Peace
out. No, it's this way.
No, it's peace out.
Peace
like
out.
A fishy. Peace
out.
out.
Peace be to you out.
Peace out.
You're so
peace
funny.
Out.
We're going to
I'm
go
going to block Mom's face. Peace out.
I'll see you later. Bye.